What's up? It is the 8th annual Halloween episode of the Armchair Fantasy Show. We'll be breaking down week 9 today. It's just a two-man show tonight. It's just going to be me and Gerson tonight breaking it down. So everybody just hang in tight. Sorry for the late start. Had some connection issues, but I think we're all good now.
Going for two, kickers are extra, I give them the boot. Ooh, going for two, sit back, relax while I grab me a brew. Ooh, now I'm reclining while putting my time and I'm ready to go. My spine is aligning and much my lineups, my bank account grow. I am so rich, but knowledge is all that I'm leaving it with. Ooh, listen to this, multiple options, how far can I get? Ooh, DFS Dynasty redraft tonight, I'm not finishing last. I'm finishing past any and all, I am looking to last. What else? This spot is popping and I am so locked in and only opening the door when it is opportunity knocking. And all of these spots keep on talking and talking. So what are we talking? What kind of alignment? And running it deep, even players forgotten or came from the bottom or hitting that topping. And this spot is popping, yeah, this spot is popping. And woo! This is the armchair, yeah. Put up your arms, yeah. Sound the alarm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo!
What is going on, and welcome to the 8th annual Halloween show here at the Armchair Fantasy Show. This is episode 441. Of course, me and Gerson are here. Me and Jigsaw are here to break down the Week 8 slate. What's up? What's up, G?
My name is Billy. Billy, not Jigsaw. Billy.
Billy. Okay.
No, I'm Billy the puppet. It's already fucking hot in here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Gerson will not be wearing that mask.
What? I won't be wearing it. I'll be wearing it when I'm not talking, and then I'll switch it off like this, and I'll drink beer.
Gerson,
what's up, Geoff? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just walked about 5 miles with my daughter trick-or-treating, so we got back about an hour ago. She's got a ton of candy, so yeah, it's been a good day.
Oop, I did not wipe the camera right. Okay, so you're gonna eat all the Reese's Pieces. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting all the good stuff. Sure. All right.
No,
well,
man, I decided to be.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously it's just a two-man show tonight. For those that have not heard, Tim did have his baby on Saturday. So obviously he will not be on the show most likely for the rest of the season. Hopefully we get him back next year. But again, one last time, congratulations to Tim being a new father. Let's go ahead and jump into the rewind.
The weekly rewind. Rewind.
Now, Tim did fill out his sheet, so I will be giving some of his calls as we go through the show. But Gerson, why don't you kick us off with the rewind here? Give us one good, one bad from last week.
Yeah, if I had any reason to wear this mask the whole show, it was because of all my picks last week. My one good was my sick call. Yeah, I like to call him Shimishiri DK. But yeah, he was my only good call, Shimishiri DK. I mean, I had other good calls, but there was more bad than good. But I will say this: don't sweat it. Last week was the 1 week where all the chalk didn't hit.
Busted.
And
Yep.
if I tell you, as a DFS player, I go and look up players that play, professional players. Everybody lost. I mean, there's a guy that lost $300,000. So it was a really bad week. But hopefully this week, I love Halloween week. I always feel like I always do good on Halloween week, so I'm pretty excited. But it's over last week.
Yeah, for sure. It's DFS, right? It's always a new week. So yeah, it's same with me. I had a pretty bad week. A lot of the chalk busted. Of course, I had one of the chalkiest cash lineups you could possibly have. I think all my guys were 60% owned or higher, and they all busted. So it was a bad week overall. My one good was also my sick call. I finally hit one, right? It's been all year. I finally hit one. Isaiah Davis had a really good game. Actually played him in a couple of lineups too. So that really helped me out a little bit. My cash lineup was terrible. And my one bad really was my cash lineup, going Bijan over Jonathan Taylor in my cash lineup. I was kind of torn between the two, which one do I play? I went Bijan, and obviously paid for it because it did not cash. Tim last week, his one good was actually using JT in cash over Bijan and cramming him in. That was his one good, and his one bad was he was pretty adamant about going Marvin Mims over Troy Franklin. Of course, that was a mistake. Franklin actually had a really good game. I think he had 2 touchdowns. Mims didn't do a whole lot of anything. So that was Tim's one good, one bad for the week. All right, let's get to the quarterbacks.
Let's talk quarterbacks.
All right, Gerson, kick us off here. What you got for your top favorite quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think this week, quarterback, we can play any quarterback this week because there's value everywhere. I mean, the value opened up like 2 hours ago, so like 3 hours ago. So like it was one after another one. I was like, oh, sweet. And I had both of them in my season long, so I was happy and I needed help at that position. But no, I think everybody can look at this game. I'm going to tell you this. His game usually doesn't, like, shoot out. Buffalo Chiefs, if you go look at their game, there's only been, like, one game that went over, like, 50 points, I believe. Right now, the Chiefs – what was that?
So that was the playoff game where they had, like, 100 points in that game. It was crazy.
Yeah,
that one that went overtime.
Yeah. But Patrick Mahomes, that's the quarterback I'm looking for. The guy's playing at MVP level. He's 7.1K. I don't know how with Pacheco being out, I can't see them really running the ball. I mean, there is Kareem Hunt there, but he's more of like a plotter now. He's not exactly like hey, we're gonna rely on him to be our bell cow running back. But I love Patrick Mahomes. It's just the game environment more than anything. But let me see. I had some. Sorry. Buffalo Bills are also gonna push the ball against the Chiefs. They're probably one of the top 5 teams that can keep up pace with them. To be honest, I mean, if that's what you want to do, we saw what the Chiefs did the last 2 weeks with Rashid Rice coming back. They just moved the ball easily, and it looks flawless. Like they go down to the red zone and they go to Rashid Rice. Like I knew Rashid Rice was good, but I didn't think he was this good. But apparently, Andy Reid, like that's the reason why he was like so high on him. But I love Mahomes at this price. The stack is very easy to complete, and you can bring it back with one of the guys on Buffalo Bills pretty easily. I'm gonna have a lot of Mahomes. How much, depending on how much I trust my value plays.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I had Mahomes as well as one of my top plays, but I also have Justin Herbert at 6.8 at Tennessee. His team has the highest implied total on the slate at 27 points, and his offensive lineman Joe Alt is fully healthy, so they're going to be able to move the ball, I think, pretty well against this Tennessee defense. I know they have Vidal in the backfield, who's had a pretty good game the last couple of games, but I do think they're going to still lean a little bit more on the pass, and I think Herbert at 6.8 is a pretty good value is there as well. Let's see, Tim. I'll take the one that you don't have from Tim. Tim has Danny Dimes at 6.2 at Pittsburgh. I think obviously another great play. Danny Dimes has been nothing short of spectacular this year, and Pittsburgh is actually pretty bad against the pass. So I like Dimes at 6.2 as well. And then you and Tim both have home Goff. So talk about Goff a little bit. Okay.
I mean, we know besides just home, there's 2 ways that you always want to play Goff is at home and indoors, right? And, well, he has both of those on the checklist. Goff, I mean, he attempted 29 or fewer passes in 6 straight games, but he owns a 7.4 touchdown rate and leads the league in passer rating. I mean, he's pretty efficient, and they don't really even use him as much as they should. But I think in this game he can be a very low owned play, and we've seen this. I think it was 2. I'll be honest, the biggest win I ever had on Prize Pick was from a Lions and Vikings game, and they went off like it was like I don't know. They went off for like 40, like over 80 points. I know that. And this offense is still the same. Both offenses are basically still the same. But I think the Lions offense is way better than last year, though. They looked a lot more efficient than last year. But give me Goff. I think it's kind of a mystery to see what McCarthy can offer. But if he can actually just keep it relevant and keep it paced, it'll be a very interesting game to target. I'm going more for the low ownership because everybody's going to be playing all these other running backs we're going to be talking about. But I don't even think Goff is in the top 5 or top 10. Oh, he's probably top 10. I don't know. I haven't really looked at ownership on him. But
Let me look at it. He's actually, yeah, he is way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's actually 11th, so he's not top 10.
So if I can get him, and he goes off, and we've seen Goff go off for like 4 touchdown games, So, and he'll take a lap over the field.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's a good call. I like Jared Goff. We'll move down into the value tier. I'll go next here, and I got Jackson Dart versus my 49ers at 5.2. Obviously, terrible injury last week with Cam Scatterbo getting hurt. So I know they still have Tyrone Tracy back there, but I don't think they quite trust him as much as they did Scatterbo, which means he's going to be forced to pass a little bit more. And my 49ers defense has been very susceptible to the pass. We've got 2 rookies in our secondary, plus a second-year player playing safety. So they definitely are sometimes out of position. If we can't get to the quarterback, then it's going to spell trouble for us. And of course, Jackson Dart also has the ability to run the ball. Something else we struggled with as well ever since we lost our middle linebacker. We've been having some issues with quarterbacks being able to break containment and get out and get some yards. So 5.2, I love Jackson Dart this week. What about you, G? What do you got for one of your values?
I'd love the Jackson Dart call. I think he's probably the best value quarterback this week, and he's going to be the highest owned quarterback. So I do love that call. I think I'm going to live and die on this hill. I'm going with Joe Flacco. I do believe he's going to start. I'm going to follow it really closely, though. If Joe Flacco doesn't start, I'm totally off the Bengals. Totally off them. So, but Flacco, Chase, I mean, these guys are just – they're like best friends all of a sudden, right? He has a shoulder injury, but last week he completed 21-34, 223, 2 touchdowns. And, I mean, I could not believe this, but he actually got a rushing touchdown. So, I mean, not exactly a Konami quarterback, but, yeah, he got 24 points. In back-to-back games, he has 3 touchdowns. So, and that 2 of them being passing touchdown last week. But if it goes to Jake Browning, though, I am totally out. Chicago gives up the fewest yards per game at 216 and the second most passing touchdowns at 2.3. But if it's not Flacco, I'm not going wacko for Jake Browning,
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think stacking options is pretty obvious, right? I think he's got 42 targets in the last 2 games to Jamar Chase. So if Flacco plays, you know who you're playing him with, and it's Jamar Chase, and only Jamar Chase most likely. Absolutely love that call. Let's see. Tim has got he's got Flacco as well. He also had Jackson Dart, but the other guy that he has that I also have, and so do you, is Caleb Williams at Cincinnati. He put in his little notes here that Cincinnati made Justin Fields look competent. So going up against Caleb Williams at 5.7 against that terrible Cincinnati defense, I think he will be able to put up some good points as well. Not quite as cheap as Dart or Flacco, but still in that good price range where you can afford to put him in there. I also threw in Mac Jones at 5K at New York. He is getting the start this week. They haven't ruled out Brock Purdy, but I have a feeling if he does actually suit up for this game, he will be the backup or the emergency quarterback. He won't actually start. So Mac Jones is your starter at 5K. All right, let's get to the tight ends.
Did somebody say tight ends?
All right, this is the most full I've ever seen the tight end sheet. We've got like 5 or 6 tight ends here in our favorite plays. So why don't you give me one of your favorite plays here, Gerson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this week is a true tight end slate, but because there's so much value at running back. Sorry, spoiler alert, but there's just so many good ones, so you can rotate them all. All these tight ends are just smashing this year, and they're at a fair price. So I'm willing to say that Tucker Kraft is elite. I mean, if you watch him play, I mean, the guy is just a monster. He had they call him the Jack Monster, yards after catch, because all he does is break tackles after he catches the ball. I mean, he has 33 fantasy points against the Steelers last week, 7 for 143 and 2 touchdowns, and that's on 9 targets, so that's 24%. I mean, he recorded double digit for the fourth straight game, and fifth time in the last 6 games. He's averaging a career best a yard per route at 15.6. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this guy. He's just a monster. And he's also leading all receivers in Jack and receptions at 10.26. That includes wide receivers. Think about that. I mean, That's pretty insane to me. To be honest, I think he's a cheat code. We talked about Bowers. We talked about Warren. We talk about the top elite tight end. I think Kraft just went in there and said, "Hey, I'm here now."
Yeah, I love it. And he was targeted heavily in that last game. And you're right. I mean, he looks elite. I think there was some question coming into the season whether or not he would be able to sort of take that next step, and he has taken that next step at 5.7.
And sorry, I forgot to say it's against the Carolina Panthers, guys. I don't really need to explain myself there.
Yeah. 100%. Let's see. We do have a question here, a season-long question that I do want to get to real quick. Try to answer these when we can. Hey, fellas, start 2. He's got Manungai, Rico Dowdle, and Bam at 0.5 PPR. And personally, I'll go first here, Gerson, but I'm going Manungai and Rico Dowdle. I think, Swift has been ruled out. We'll be talking about him in a little bit. Manungai, because he's one of the values we just talked about. And Rico Dowdle, they came out and said that he's going to get most of the work. I'm not fully bought in on Bam just yet. How do you feel, Gerson?
It is against the Cowboys. That's the thing.
That is a good.
But if I was managing that team, I would go Manungai and Dowdle. Rico Dowdle, I mean, he's the bell cow there now. They basically said that, hey, they just wanted to give him a chance, because of everything he'd done for him. It's like that coworker, where he comes in and does a good job, but in reality, you're very replaceable. You're just a number, But no, those are 2 guys I'm going with, and I'll be honest, I'm starting both of those guys in the league. So
yeah, I am as well. I have him in the league that I have DeAndre Swift, so he's my starter in that league, and I have Dowdle in the league as well. I'll go next here at tight end, and again, I mentioned how many good tight ends there are this week, and I'll go with Arondé Gadsden, who's kind of a new tight end to the top tier here at 5.3. He's had a couple good games in a row, had a couple monster games in a row, being targeted really heavily by Justin Herbert. Already talked about how much I love Justin Herbert this week. Gadsden has become one of his favorite targets, and he's 5.3. And he's putting up wide receiver type numbers over the last few weeks, and he gets Tennessee this week, who are not good against the tight end. So I like Arondé Gadsden a lot. I'll give Tim's play here. He likes Tyler Warren a lot at 5.5. And his reasoning is most people will be playing Bowers, who we didn't talk about, but Bowers is 5K. He's going to come back. He's fully healthy. So people will be clicking on the Bowers name, and no one's going to click on Tyler Warren. And the Steelers are 31st versus the tight end, so one of the worst against the tight end position. So Warren is a good play at 5.5. I'll mention a couple of the other guys, and then we'll just do the values, which there's not a ton of tight end values this week. But Tim also had Kyle Pitts. Obviously the Patriots are a tight end funnel. And he has George Kittle if Purdy is back. Obviously, Purdy is not going to start. So I don't know how he feels about Kittle with Mac Jones. And personally, I think our game plan is going to be to run, which means that Kittle is going to be inside blocking a lot. So I don't know if Kittle is a great play this week. You do have Travis Kelce there at 4.6 as one of your values.
Yeah.
Talk about Kelce a little bit.
I mean, I can't remember the last time Travis Kelce was 4.6K, to be honest. But he's coming off 8 season high targets and 8 targets, 6 receptions, and receiving yards, 99 and a touchdown, and 21.9. I mean, guy's a stud, right? Like on tight end week, he didn't let us down. Shout out to him, Kittle, Kraft, Arondé Gadsden. Basically all the guys we're saying right now. Good job, guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, Kelsey's coming off that game. The Bills deploy a cover 3, 31% of the time, and a cover 2 at 19.9. I mean, that's 50%. And he averages almost 2.20 yards per route run, and on 104 routes against those coverages. And the Bills give up the second fewest yards per game. But I think Kelsey, Rashid Rice coming back to that offense has opened up everything for him. I think it's a blessing for him because you can no longer just bracket cover him.
Yep.
You gotta worry about, because Worthy and Dam can just run straight. What's the name? Rashid Rice, he can run across the field, do the mesh route with Kelsey that he's much needed. But I really like Kelsey this game, and 4.6K. I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, Mahomes is not like expensive, like the stack, like 4.6K for him. Rashid Rice is 7,300. I don't know how much.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, give me Kelsey in this game. I mean, it's just the game environment. We're gonna be going back to that game. There are a lot of good games this week. When I say a lot of good games, there's a lot of good teams with high in-fight total. Yeah, some of the teams that we're talking about on the other side, well, yeah, they're not that high in-fight total, but the teams we're gonna talk about, they are.
For real. Yeah, absolutely. I'll just mention the values that we have. Like I said, we didn't have a ton of values. I put Theo Johnson there versus San Francisco at 3.5. He's probably the only value that I'm really going to be paying for below 4,000. Tim did have Loveland at 3,300 if Komet was out, but Komet is not out, so that kind of hurts Loveland a little bit. So Theo Johnson is really the only guy I'm going to probably click on below 4,000. Everybody else is going to be above 4,000 for me. All right, let's get to the running backs.
It's time for running backs. Running backs.
All right, I will go first here, and I'm going to talk about Kyren Williams. He has been a guy that the fantasy community does never wants to buy into Kyren Williams, but all he does is get volume and touchdowns, and he's been a monster again this year, going against New Orleans this week at 6.8. He falls in that little soft spot there where you're going to be either going to be paying up or paying below with all the value that we're going to talk about. So you're either going to be going up to guys like Christian McCaffrey or Jahmyr Gibbs, or if you're going to go all the way up to Jonathan Taylor, or you're paying down for the guys that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And Kyren Williams is going to get overlooked, I believe, at 6.8. And I think that's going to be a mistake. I think you need to click his name if you can get him into your lineup. So he is someone that I'm definitely going to be trying to fit in. What about you, G? What do you got for your favorite plays here?
Oh, you're not gonna hit the drop?
You want me to hit it now? I'll hit it now.
Lock it in.
Sorry, that was awkward.
I thought you were going to talk about one of the other top tier guys before we got to him. But
I thought we just always talk about a lock of the week right away when we go to that position. My bad. Kamani Vidal, whatever. Actually, I heard the announcers say it on Thursday Night Football like 3 different ways. I'm like, all right, which way is it?
Vidali at one point. It was Kamani Vidali.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all right.
Yeah. What is it, though? Do you know?
I think it's Vidal. Kamani Vidal. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, Kamani Vidal. All right, I need to get that out of my mouth. 100 rushing yards and 19.7 fantasy points. Second time in 3 times without Hampton in the lineup. I mean, the guy has erupted. I mean, he erupted for 23, 117, 1 rushing touchdown last week. It's just incredible what this guy can do. I watched the Thursday Night Football game, and he looks so elusive for his size. He looks small, but he's very, very elusive. He reminds me of kind of like a young Austin Eckler when he used to just bounce off and just not get tackled and make little moves. But the biggest thing is snaps, usage. That's what I'm looking for. In a high-scoring offense like this, and he getting the touches at the red zone also, he is against Jarrett Patterson, he's ahead of him on snap share, 74% to 20%. Carries is 54% to 26%. Route share is 38% to 0. So, I mean, if that doesn't really explain to you as a bell cow running back on one of the best offenses in the league. I don't know what that is. And the best thing is he has the best matchup, one of the best matchup. The Titans give up the second most adjusted yard per attempt at 2.78 and the second most yards per game. Yards per game at 119. And, well, guess what? They've allowed 16.6 fantasy points to all 6 running backs they've played. So give me Vidal. I think he can actually get way more than 16.6. I think he can probably get a 20-point game, and that's 3 times value. So I know he's 6.3K. It's not exactly the price you really want to be paying for a guy like him, but I do think, like, you know, there's going to be a value tier. There's going to be the mid-tier tier. There's going to be the elite tier, you know, and Vidal is my definitely my favorite call at the mid-tier.
Yeah, agreed. And for what it's worth, I went to look at Pro Football Reference, and it's pronounced Vidal. So it's even though it's A at the end, it's still pronounced Vidal. Kamani Vidal. Let's see. I'll go back through. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey, 8.8. If you want to click all the way up to the top there at New York Giants, he's been getting the running game going a little bit. And obviously, in the passing game, he is an absolute monster. I think 8.8 is still probably too cheap for him. Coming off a bad game, I think they priced him down a little bit so they wouldn't give him that $9,000 price tag. So he is obviously in the top tier. Tim has Jahmyr Gibbs at 8,000. At home, coming off a bye week and going up against the Vikings run funnel. So at Gibbs at 8,000 is also another good top tier guy. And you have Jonathan Taylor there at 9.8. And with the value that's kind of broken free here, it's a little bit easier to fit Jonathan Taylor in that 9.8 range. How much do you like Taylor this week?
A lot. I think I don't know if I really want to say that any other running back on this slate has 3 touchdown potential besides him. I know people would say CMC, but if you really look at CMC, he only has 2 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
I don't even.
Taylor's done 3 touchdowns a game more than he's not had 3 TDs a game this year. It's insane.
Exactly. So I mean, he has a great matchup. I mean, the Giants are gonna blow. I mean, the Colts are gonna blow him out. And I can't tell you, every week we say this, but the Colts are playing some of the best football we've seen in years. I mean, it's not looking like entertaining per se to the public world, but if you actually appreciate defense and running the ball down their throat, they're doing it. But it is a pricey point, but I think with the value that opened up today, you can make it work. And there's value quarterbacks, and I don't know. I honestly think you can stack the defense too with them. I mean, they can force some turnovers there. The defense is expensive though, so maybe not. But I will be doing it. But
yeah,
give me. I'm riding this train, dude. I've been riding this train since week 1. I remember when I said it week 2, week 3. I think I said this price is not going to stay here. This is crazy. It's probably one day we're going to be talking about him. He was going to be 9K. Well, we're almost talking about him. He could be 10K.
10K, exactly, for sure. All right, let me give Tim his drop here.
Lock it in.
So Tim's lock of the week is one of those values that we've kind of talked about. Monangai for the Chicago Bears at 4.6. Obviously, Swift was ruled out today. Monangai was going to get the full workload. He gets a great matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals. At 4.6, he was pretty much a lock, an instant click, until we had some more value open up that kind of made it a little bit more murky. Once Swift got ruled out, it was like, okay, it's a free square, put him in Monangai at 4.6. But now that we got some other running backs in that same range that are also going to get full workloads, it makes it a little bit more tricky. But I do think Monangai is a good play there at 4.6. And speaking of some of those guys that are going to be down in that range, I'm looking at Mr. Trey Hendrickson at versus Atlanta at 4.9. Travion Henderson, sorry, yeah, Travion Henderson. I don't know. I have written down Hendrickson.
I saw that, but I didn't want to correct you. I'm like,
I was like, that doesn't sound right. Something doesn't sound right there. It's Henderson. Sorry, Henderson.
Well, according to Mike Vrabel, he doesn't exist in this world, so don't worry, Jeff. You're good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Travion Henderson, 4.9 versus Atlanta. Hopefully, he finally gets a workload that we can kind of count on now that Ramondre Stevenson is out. They still went out and tried to get another running back to kind of fill that spot, but I'm hoping that Henderson gets a little bit more of a workload this week. The
Hold on.
Falcons. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish it off, but I want to add something to it.
All right. Yeah, I was just going to say the Falcons have been struggling over the last few games. I think Christian McCaffrey had a good game 2 weeks ago, and then I believe it was Achan last week who had a good game in Henderson at 4.9 is a good play. What do you want to add?
I want to add to it, but I don't know how bad it's going to sound in the mask, but we're going to play a game, okay? We're going to play a little game. Let me put my outfit on. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit. Mike Vrabel, you want to play a game? Yeah. Play Travion Henderson, please. Or shit, Mike Vrabel comes out and says, nah, we're going to go play someone out of the stand. Anybody in the stand wants to play running back? Anybody? Oh, you? Yeah, come on. Come over here, Yeah,
maybe they'll sign Trey Hendrickson and put him in the backfield like I said earlier.
No, man, it's crazy. And he's a great running back. I just think he needs opportunity, and I don't know what other way you can do it. I mean, it's crazy how you draft him so high and he's not getting the touches. I mean, there's been what is it called? A running joke that Kamani Vidal is the running back, right? But really, in reality, well, he didn't exactly earn it. He just went down injury. But Travion Henderson, well, he hasn't earned it, but he's hoping. But I hope it really pays off because that price is great. And I think the Patriots are one of the most underrated offenses in football, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, look like they did last week. Drake May's been a beast.
Amazing. Top 5 quarterback, dude.
Yeah. What do you got for one of your values? We got still a couple more values that are down here.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about. Well, Mononga is a great value, obviously. Let's talk about. I don't really want to talk about Hunt because I just think he's boring.
What about Tyrone Tracy?
Tyrone Tracy. A big reason why Dart is probably the highest owned value quarterback. Well, Gadabo. Is it Gadabo or Gadaboo? Yeah, he's out. He got hurt last week. Rest in peace to his season. But it's next man up. And Tracy, unfortunately, is lucky to get it. Season-ending injury for him. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery, though. But Tracy got 39 yards on 10 carries and 2 for 14 on 3 targets and 63% snap share. But Singletary also took some touches, but we've seen this before. Last season, and he averaged 13.3 fantasy points per game in the final 13 games. That would rank as a top 21 running back. He averaged 62 yards and 18 yards receiving and 6 total touchdowns during that stretch, which is week 5 to 18. But the San Francisco 49ers give up the 16th most adjusted yards per against running back and the 16th most yards per game at 90. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but the 49ers are like a walking ambulance right now. Their whole defense, their whole offense, their whole team. I think it got to a point. I don't know if you watched the game, Jeff, but a player got hurt, and they kind of you can tell it went into Shanahan's ear set, and he's just like, "What the? How is this possible?" He just he couldn't believe it. But it is what it is. I mean, that's football for you, But it's just they're facing a depleted 49er team, and the only way the 49ers are going to be able to. And here's the crazy part: I think people last week saw what the Houston Texans did to them, where they kept the ball away from CMC and the offense. They're going to try to replicate that because that strategy worked out very well. It came to a point on my price. Oh, yeah, thanks, CMC. Yeah, you were the only one that didn't hit on my prize pick slip. But they only had the ball for 4 minutes in one half.
Yeah,
So if the
that's
Giants can replicate that, they're going to have to go through Tracy. They're going to have to go through little short passes to from Dart, and hopefully he can get some reception. But he's an ex wide receiver, so he has very good upside with the pass catching role too.
Yeah, agreed. And Joey corrects us. It is Scataboo, which is quite fitting that it's the Halloween episode and it's Scataboo, not Scatabo. I'll mention the one other guy. So I had this guy as a value before all this other value opened up, and he's probably not going to be much of a value, at least not clicked on very much. And that's Warren, not Tyler Warren. I almost said Tyler Warren. Warren from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, Jalen Warren from the Steelers versus Indiana at 5.5. He's more expensive than the other values that we just mentioned. And like I said, I had him on my sheet before all this value opened up. So he's going to be much, much lower owned now. And someone you can probably use in tournaments to sort of pivot off these other cheaper guys.
I love Jalen Warren. I love that call.
All right, let's get to the receivers.
And now, wide receivers.
And I'll go ahead and give us the double drop.
Lock it in.
Yeah, we talked about him earlier when we talked about Mahomes, and we talked about him when we talked about Kelsey. But Rashee Rice at Buffalo, 7.6. The Bills give up the seventh most points DVOA versus the team's number one receiver. It's the highest total on the slate, and he has gotten 19 targets in the last two games since coming back from injury. Rashee Rice is, I think, still underpriced at 7.6, and obviously a very good stacking option with Patrick Mahomes at 7.1, which is a pretty good stack to start with if you're going to run, this high total game and you want to get some stacking options. I think Mahomes and Rice is a perfect stack option. So I am locking in Rashee Rice this week. Gerson, what you got for any of your top plays here?
Yeah, I love the Rashee Rice call. Again, I'm going to go back to if he plays, if Joe Flacco plays, I'm almost sure that Jamar Chase is going to be in 100% of my roster. That's how crazy I am on him. It's like I just wish people realize if Joe Burrow is healthy, how special that could be, between him and Chase. But it's even more special when you have Joe Flacco. He just doesn't give a crap because he knows, well, what are they going to do? Bench me? Well, my career is almost over. But he posted another massive performance with Flacco, 12 for 91 on 18 target. I mean, I can't tell you how devastated I was because I was facing him in fantasy football in my home league. And every single time he got a stupid catch, I was like, oh, great. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I felt like I don't know if you ever seen that meme with the monkey. He goes, oh, no.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt like. I'm like, thanks, Flacco. But, I mean, he's a monster. He reached 12 targets, 10 reception, 94 receiving yard, 21 point fantasy point in the first three games with Flacco. That's incredible. I mean, wow, like, it's almost like a shoe-in, But I think he's going to be my highest owned wide receiver. It's not going to be close, but if Flacco doesn't play, it's against the Bears, So if Flacco doesn't play, I'm out. Again, remember, guys, if Flacco doesn't play, this whole game dynamic changes.
Changes 100%. Yep. Yeah, he currently is listed on RG as the highest owned wide receiver on the slate at 26% owned. So he is definitely going to be highly owned unless Flacco, for some reason, is out. I'll go next here, and I'll mention the guy that nobody else probably has. Actually, you do have him on your list there. And I think he's going to finally have his game that we thought we were going to get to start the season. But I'm going BTJ, 6.2 at Las Vegas. We heard today that Hunter has gone on IR, and Vegas gives up the third most DK points to wide receivers. And I think coming off the bye, I'm hoping that they fix whatever issues that him and Trevor Lawrence had with starting the season here. I'm hoping they got that fixed. They started to show a little bit of signs in the last 2 weeks before their bye. So at 6.2, I like BTJ. I know there's been some trade rumors swirling around there. So
that's what I was gonna say. Isn't it crazy that there's trade rumors and then all of a sudden, Travis Hunter's girlfriend cheated on him last weekend or something and broke his heart, and now he's on IR for 4 weeks. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's just football for you right there.
sure, for sure. Yeah, I like BTJ this week a lot. I'll give a couple of the plays that Tim has. He obviously had Chase and Rice as well, but he also has Amon Ra, obviously going with his Jared Goff play from earlier, 8.3. I think Amon Ra currently is the second highest owned receiver on the slate. And with that environment with against Minnesota is going to be good. And then he also mentioned he wants to fade Chris Olave this week because of the quarterback situation. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name still. I still mess that up. I want to say Shaw, but I know it's not right. But yeah, fade Chris Olave is what Tim is telling us to do. Gerson, what else you got for your receivers here?
Wait, you talking about the quarterback for Goat
for the
Coach?
for the Saints?
Oh, Tyler Goff, Coach.
Tyler
Fuck, I
Shaw.
can't
I don't know how to
pronounce
pronounce it. Tyler Shaw.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
it
heard
don't
it.
matter. He's that old as Geoff anyway, so it doesn't matter. Um, yeah. The high chair. I mean, I think people are gonna forget about Puka Nakua. You can probably get them a very low own, and they're coming off a bye week, so they're gonna be very fresh. What is Puka Nakua ownership right now, Jeff? Do you know it?
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. He is currently 11% owned. He is looks like the 8th or ninth receiver.
Yeah, I mean, besides Puka Nakua sitting out, Stafford still has a career best touchdown rate at 7% and the best passer rating. So, I mean, Puka is still gonna get. He's gonna pick up where he left off. Um, I can't believe that we have like 3 wide receivers that you can legit say they can get a triple crown. Like Chase, Nakua. Well, actually, 2 because Jefferson not ever going to touch it with McCarthy
McCarthy.
at quarterback. Excuse me. But still, it's just awesome how talented the wide receiver is right now this year. But I think Puka for low ownership is my pivot if I wanted to. But
Yeah.
it's getting really dangerous there because of the high upside Jamar Chase can have. If Flacco plays, again, if Flacco doesn't, then that changes the whole slate for him. But don't sleep on Amon-Ra St. Brown either. Obviously, at home. He is pricey, though, $8,300. I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't know if Amon-Ra is really worth $8,000 something,
It's funny because we say that all the time, and yet he still comes out and produces elite level every
and
year.
he's having like his best season, right? Isn't
Yeah.
that what it is? Isn't that what it is? But
He's
yeah.
he's having an awesome season. We'll move down into the value tier, and I'll go ahead and give you my first value, and that's Wan'Dale Robinson at 5.1 versus San Francisco. The 49ers have the third worst DVOA versus slot receivers, which Wan'Dale plays from the slot in 74% of his snaps. We have always struggled with the slot, even when we had all of our players healthy. We're definitely struggling again this year at 5.1. Wan'Dale's one of those guys that's going to get you like 9 catches for like 76 yards or something, but you'll still take that at 5.1. So yeah, Wan'Dale's high on my list for values. What about you, G? What do you got for one of your values?
Man, I could take off this mask and look like Pee Wee Herman, I guess.
You mixing it up.
I'm kidding. Yeah. DK Metcalf, man. I love DK Metcalf. I think I've had more fun watching DK Metcalf play for the Steelers than all those years play for the Seattle Seahawks. It's so crazy. Like, it looks like they actually want to design plays for him, Unlike, I don't know. I felt like when he was on Seattle, he was just so boring to watch sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides when he...
It was just go deep, go deep, go deep.
Yeah, but now you're seeing it with Roger. He sends him over the middle, and next thing you know, he breaks like an 80-yard touchdown. Like that London game where he did the slant and went across and basically went up the field. It was awesome. And then they run like design screenplays for him. Like, I don't ever remember the Seattle Seahawks even doing a screenplay with him.
No.
But yeah, he had reached 11 fantasy points in the end zone in 5 of his last 6 games. And last week he turned 5 for 555 and 1 touchdown. I mean, that's pretty good if you're paying at 5.5K or 5.7, 5.5.
He
Yeah,
is 5.5. Yep.
5.5K. And the best thing is the matchup. The Colts, the way you're going to beat them, well, the only way you're going to beat them is by outscoring them. And because they're scoring like, what? Are they the highest scoring team in the NFL?
They are like 31 points a game, something like that.
Holy crap. Yeah, you're going to have to be playing from behind for sure. And the Steelers are definitely going to be playing from behind. And just because we said that, watch, the Steelers are going to shut them out, watch. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. But he has a 21% target share. That wide receiver room is very weak. The Colts give up the 16th most receiving yards per game at 105. Alex Iomanner posted 4 for 52 on 8 targets last week. And Shamiri Decay, whatever. I can't
It's
say
hard
his
to
name.
say.
But, yeah, I mean, he had a really good game too. So if they can do that, I definitely love DK in this matchup.
Yeah, sure. I love DK too. He actually has a touchdown in all his games except for 2. The one against Cincinnati and then week 1 against the Jets. But every other game he's had a touchdown. And if you watched that game last week, you mentioned how the Seahawks weren't using DK right. They were using DK right in this game because they got it down into the red zone. And when you have 6'4", 230 pounds, just have him run a slant, almost like a post-up play. And he basically just threw the ball right to him, like in the red zone. That's something that Seattle did not do. They did not utilize his size down there. They threw a bunch of fades and corner routes to him. But yeah, just have him post up on the DB essentially and just throw him the ball. He's going to go get it for you. So yeah, I loved DK as well this week. Let's see. Tim he's got Wandell and DK in his player pool as well. He also has QJ Quentin Johnston for the LA Chargers. And he's saying a GPP play. Tennessee's weak against the long ball, which I agree 100%. So QJ is definitely in his player pool. He also has Alec Pierce or Josh Downs, one of those two guys, another GPP play as well. And then I have one more guy who's going to be actually fairly highly owned. I was surprised on his ownership when I looked it up. He's currently the 3rd highest owned receiver on the slate, and that's Jawan Jennings. He led the team last week in targets and yards. Actually had one that would have probably scored a touchdown that he dropped. It was like a 60-yard pass or something that he dropped, and that would have obviously given him a better stat line. But at 4.6 against the Giants, I think Jennings is also a good play. Even with Mac Jones back there, I think that he's going to find a way to pay off his salary. And like I said, currently the 3rd highest owned receiver on the slate, according to Roto Grinders. Mm-hmm. All right. I think that is all the receivers that we got. Let's get to our defenses.
Defense.
All right. I'm going to give the defenses that Tim has. And then if we have any different ones, we can talk about it. But he has the Rams. First, he says pay up for defense this week, and I think I agree with him. You are paying up for defense, especially with all this value that just broke. So he's got Rams going up against, obviously, that rookie quarterback, and they're at 3.9, so a little bit expensive, but against that rookie quarterback, I can see him definitely paying that off. He also has the Lions coming off a bye at 3.7, and if you do want to pay down, his pay down defense is going to be the Giants at 2.4, going up against my 49ers, who have been a little bit turnover prone of late. So they are definitely in play as well. You have the Chargers there, one team that's different than what Tim has. And you want to talk about Chargers a little bit for me, Gerson?
Yeah. I just think Chargers, it's against the Tennessee Titans. I don't know. It's Cam Ward. If you play Prize Pick every week or Underdog and you see Cam Ward interception, you can hit that over. I mean, the guy is just a walking turnover machine. Actually, he's the only guy, like I said a couple weeks ago, that throws the ball and fumbles it while throwing it. Like, it's incredible how talented that is. And I don't think they've improved at all. And it's only going to get worse from here. They have a lot of tough games, including against the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers are basically going to get so far ahead. They're going to get so far ahead, and they're just going to run the ball with Kamani Vidal. But give me the Chargers defense, and you can stack him with Kamani Vidal. There you go. See that?
Yeah, I love it. Speaking of stack, let's go ahead and get to our stacks.
GoingFor2.com's weekly stack report.
All right, I will go first here. And I built this stack before all this other value opened up. And I was trying to figure out a way that you can get some of those high-priced guys like Jamar Chase and Christian McCaffrey in your lineup. So I came up with a pretty cheap stack for that reason. I don't think it's as viable now that we've got all this other value. But my original stack was Jackson Dart, Wan'Dale Robinson, and bringing it back with Jawan Jennings. That allows you to get Jamar Chase into your lineup, to get Christian McCaffrey into your lineup, and whoever you want. If you want Amon-Ra instead of Jamar Chase, you can do that. Now, with the value that opened up, there's probably more ways to get to those guys as well. But I do still like that as an underappreciated stack. Tim's stack currently, he's got Danny Dimes, Tyler Warren, and then bringing it back with DK Metcalf, all guys that we talked about on tonight's show. Again, I think that's going to be a pretty good stack. We just talked about DK Metcalf and his ability to score touchdowns. Tyler Warren's got a great matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers as the worst defense against tight ends. And, of course, we talked about Dimes and how good he's been playing this year. What about you, G? What do you got for your stack?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I wanted to play a game with you, Geoff. I didn't have my stack on there, but I do know who my stack is.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice, and then Travis Kelce, and running back with Khalil Shakur. I do believe that with the value that opens up, it allows me to be very flexible with my stacks. And I will say this, guys. Don't get pissed off when those value running backs only get you 8 points, because is it bound to happen? Is that how they say it? It's bound to happen.
Yep.
You know,
there's
a reason right now.
There's a reason that there's a third string running back. You know, they could go off, but there's a reason that they're not starting, so they might not go off.
I mean, there's a reason why Travion Henderson is on a practice squad. You know, just letting you guys know.
For sure.
But no. Yeah, give me that stack. I love your stack though. I mean, I think it's just, before the value opened up, it was kind of, and to be honest, you can do Tracy and Theo Johnson and bring it back and then fit in everybody else. I mean, like it's a great stack. I love it.
All right, let's get to our sick call.
And now, the sick call of the week.
All right, if y'all did not hear the beginning of the show, I am off to Snide. I finally hit a sick call. I watched Isaiah Davis, and he went off last week for I think 17 points. And it could have been better. He almost scored a touchdown. He came real close to scoring a touchdown. That would have really blown up on his salary. But 4.1 last week, and I think he paid off nicely. And then Gerson, first time this year we've had 2 sick calls hit in the same week. Shamiri DK at 3.4 smashed value. Yeah, he smashed value. Tim did miss. Isaiah likely only had 2 points. Had like 2.6 points or 2.8 points. He wasn't that good last week, so Tim did miss.
I told him he was likely to miss.
G, what you got for your sick call this week?
Yeah, like I said earlier on, Travis Hunter got his heart broken. Kind of sad. That's why he was placed on IR. His girlfriend's definitely a hood rat. Or his wife is a hood rat. My bad. Don't cancel me. But anyways, Parker Washington. How many times have you played this guy? I played him quite a few times when he was a value last year, you know, and I'm gonna play him again this year. It's kind of weird because on one website he's actually 10% owned, and on another website he's like 0% owned, and then on another website he's like 2% owned. Yeah, it's so confusing. Like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna fluctuate by Sunday and meet like kind of in like a 7% range, but we go by the threshold, whatever we see. So, yeah.
Real quick, we have a special guest joining us here. I don't think his video is on, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on screen. Tim, what's up, man?
Hey.
You there? I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
Not working.
Oh wait,
Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I got you now. No camera, but we got the sound. There we
Here we
go.
go.
Oh,
It's as little as Packer
I
fan.
should probably take off this.
Hey, you okay? You
Oh,
okay?
Oh, that's... So
that
Tim, how
is
much have you
awesome.
slept?
Hey, say hello to the guys. Say hello, Daphne. Say hello to the guys, Daphne. Okay. All right, guys.
All right,
That's it.
good
Go,
stuff.
Pack,
Peace out,
go.
brother.
Go back, go. There you
Oh,
go. All right, good
that was
stuff.
awesome.
Tim, jumping in there real quick.
Got
Tim's
it.
sick call this week is Roman Wilson at 3.3 versus the Colts. He's earned a connection with A-Rod over the last couple of weeks, so Roman Wilson at 3.3 is Tim's sick call. And I had a hard time finding a sick call. I was looking all over the place for a sick call, and I just could not find one. So I decided to go with Olamide Zaccheaus at 3.3 versus Cincinnati. Uh, he's had some pretty good games. He actually had 7 targets last week, so it was actually a pretty
I
good
like
week
it.
for him in that sense. So if he can go out and get 10 targets again for me this week at that price point, I will take that all day. So yeah, going against Cincinnati, obviously they're a terrible defense. So I'll take Olamide Zaccheaus, who's been in the sick calls before. We've used him a couple times, so I'll go back to the well here with Zaccheaus.
Yeah.
All right, man. That wraps up the show. First 2-man show we've done in a long time. G, go to you first, man. Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah. First off, it's Halloween weekend, and it's actually pretty cool that it's tonight. And but obviously the adults are probably gonna party tomorrow when all those kids are left at grandma and grandpa because they did their job, you know. But don't drink and drive. Be smart. Get a DD, get an Uber, get a Lyft. I'm pretty sure some insurance company nowadays have like an Uber Lyft, like they pay for it. I'm pretty sure, or something like that. Or just stay on your friend's couch. I mean, staying on your friend's couch is a lot better than paying an extra $250 a month for the next 5 years. But
Absolutely.
happy Halloween. I know I feel bad because that baby probably met me, and I had this mask on for the first time.
Don't worry, babies can't see that well in the beginning, so you probably couldn't even tell what we were doing.
But yeah, you can find me at Fantasy GDFS. Happy Halloween. Let's play a game.
All right, good stuff. As always, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at JeffLambert77. You could find me in the Discord, the Going for Two Discord. My link is in on the website. You can go to goingfor2.com, get the link to join the Discord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a wrap. Good luck this week, guys. For Gerson, I'm Jeff, and we will be back next week. Peace.
Go Pack, go!